The mascot eliminates the monster. Raw dominates. And if you blinked, you probably missed that Goldberg-Lesnar match. We are going to talk about all of it right now on the AFTERBUZZ TV Survivor Series After Show. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
It's okay to jam a little bit. We've already played this song longer than that match went down, everybody, and we cannot wait to talk to you about it. Thank you for tuning in. We are breaking down WWE's Survivor Series pay-per-view. We are live on YouTube. I do have the chat roll going. You guys are talking about it already. Let's see. Ooh, it seems like you love the show. Can't wait to hear more from you. We are on iTunes and SoundCloud as well. Please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. You don't want to miss any of these shows because we're going to have some fun. My name is Christy Olson, and you can always hit me up at Christy Reports. And joining us tonight from the Raw After Show, Miss Markeia McCarty.
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Markeia McCarty, MarkeiaMcCarty.
Oh, and I like that hair too, girl.
Thank you.
And we have Steve Kaufmann down there. How you doing, Steve?
Doing good. How you guys doing?
Good, good. Where can the people hit you up at?
You can hit me up on Twitter almost exclusively at Steve Kaufmann. That's Kaufmann.
So exclusive. And the encyclopedia of WWE knowledge. George Hermoza showed up today.
That's me, Ghermoza. Yeah, that's me.
Love it. Well, let's get right into this show. It was an action-packed 4 hours plus a 2-hour kickoff show. I watched it all. I'm sure you guys did too. What did we think of the cruiserweights? This one was Arya Daivari, Drew Gulak, Tony Nese versus Rich Swann, Noam Dar, and TJ Perkins. I think this got the night started off just right. I thought it was an action-packed, fantastic match. Any thoughts on this one, guys?
I thought it was a great match. I'm just a little frustrated. This is probably the third, definitely the second, probably the third show where it's like we have the Cruiserweight title with 2 known names and then a tag match.
Right.
That they seem to just be treating it like a standard formula instead of like, who are these people? What are, like, we could have just as easily had 2 different singles matches on the main card or one singles match in the pre-show, but the match itself was great.
It was great. Yeah. It was very TJ Perkins-y, but that's okay. Are we okay with that?
Yeah, right? No, this is okay. Especially because the Brian Kendrick is holding on to the Cruiserweight Championship right now. I enjoyed seeing some Rich Swann and TJ Perkins action, you know, going for the gold and getting the win.
I think you're the only person that calls him the Brian Kendrick.
No, that's his name. It was established in Raw Talk.
Okay, not the, not the, but the Brian Kendrick.
He's talking about how you say the.
Yeah, that's my military upbringing.
Or envelope? Or is it envelope?
It's envelope.
Orange or orange?
All right. We are wildly off topic.
I think if anything, I mean, WWE is a lot of things. A lot of it's maybe what's the thing I'm looking for? Infomercial. Maybe this was like an infomercial for 205 Live that's debuting in about 9 days. So I think it's a good showcase to showcase what's going to happen in 9 days for 205 Live, and so it was good for what it was.
Absolutely. It got us started. And then we had a little bit, oh yes, and 205 Live does debut a week from Tuesday. That is right after SmackDown, live on the network. Will the Cruiserweights be going to SmackDown? Stay tuned. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. But first, we had kind of a surprise last-minute match. This one was added to the card. Kane versus Luke Harper for our second kickoff match. I wasn't entirely sure why this was happening, but it happened.
I would have looked to you because
you would look to me to know why it was happening.
Because I do keep up with SmackDown,
right?
But like you can't watch it. Like I don't watch it every week, whereas I know you're on that show.
Right.
So I would have looked to you of like, so is this a thing? And you're telling me no, this is not a thing.
No, it seemed unnecessary.
This was like a bonus level.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think there was a little history because I think not too long ago was Orton and Kane against Harper and Wyatt like a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
So I like that it wasn't completely random, but still kind of random at the same time.
It was pretty random. Let's not lie. Kane takes away the win on that one. Oh, I'm so sorry if you all missed the kickoff match and you were wondering who won the Cruiserweight cruiserweights. That was Rich Swann pinning Arya Daivari, who is so hot, by the way, after a standing 450 splash, making Rich Swann, Noam Dar, and TJ Perkins victorious in that one, joining Kane in the kickoff match victors. And now let's jump right into our main Survivor Series show, live from Toronto, Canada, at the Air Canada Centre, where WWE was actually added to their Icons Hall of Fame this week. They're having Raw and SmackDown there as well, I believe. At least Raw for sure. Yeah. So they are coming live from Canada, and this one starts off with the ladies. Raw versus SmackDown in a 5-on-5 women's elimination match. Now, it was a lot of heat between these 10 ladies, not just amongst the teams themselves, but we had a really cool angle on SmackDown this week where the Raw ladies invaded. Nikki Bella legit broke a tooth. Ugh. Charlotte came out with her ticket. It was so good to pump this up. I was excited for this match. What were you guys thinking going into this one?
Well, going into this one, I was very concerned. I meant to ask if you were okay about Nikki Bella.
Oh, right? Because right off the back, it's like, hey, no, she's taken out. Someone took her out.
Did anyone feel like this was shot with the intention to be shown before everyone else everyone else's entrance, and then they flopped it? Like, there didn't feel like an urgency in the way they shot this of just like, well, what do we do? I don't know. Well, you should go out there. We're up kind of next. It's like, no, you're like, the bell's about to ring. This is about to happen.
To be honest with you, the network was having major issues, at least at my house, and it was getting so spotty, and it just came back to her sitting on the floor backstage. I was like, oh my God, what happened? Is she okay?
Is the match over?
I was able to rewind a little bit, so I got the full story. But yeah, no, I was just concerned because I'm going, why is this happening? Is she injured for real? What's the deal? But
yeah,
this
we didn't find
like,
out why, did we?
Tune in to SmackDown and find out.
Yep, there you go.
Well,
but yeah, I like that Natalya.
Yeah, do you think it was Natty or Carmella?
I think Carmella.
I think it would have to be Carmella.
No,
well, I'd like to think they all had like a huddle before they went out to the ring. So the only person that makes sense is Natty. I mean, she's from Canada. I'm sure she would have liked to wrestle in her own home country.
Right, Toronto.
You know, so why not attack Nikki and kind
I
of?
don't think Canadians work that way.
I think it was Carmella to frame Natalya.
What?
No, Canadians are so nice. She'd do it to her face, like she did like way back when she
By the way, are you following Two Paws on Instagram?
Yes,
Okay.
I am.
Okay.
Oh my God,
not?
I'm all about cats and dogs. I follow Doug the Pug, and I totally follow Two Paws.
Well, Natty would be very proud of you. I was looking forward to this match a lot. I think there are a lot of great talent in here. Alexa's been killing it for like the last 2 months. Bailey's on the up, and yeah, so I much like I'm sure Christy, I was looking much forward to this match.
Absolutely. It was Nia Jax, Bailey, Charlotte, Sasha, and Alicia Fox versus Nikki Bella. Oh, wait a minute. Natty, Becky, Carmella, Alexis, and Naomi, who was feeling the glow in some cool gear.
Yeah, oh my God, she brought it all out.
Naomi's entrance leaves. Woo! Naomi's entrance is so awesome that I always worry that she won't live up to it in the ring. But I'm always like,
oh, no, it's Naomi. it's Naomi, it's fine.
Don't worry. Well,
Yeah.
Foxy and Carmella started this one off. Alicia Fox is, of course, a Survivor Series veteran. She delivered a pretty serious Northern Lights suplex that got this one kicked off right. Carmella retaliated with a flying head scissors, and these ladies were off and running. It became Becky versus Bailey. Charlotte forces a tag in, then Sasha does the same. They definitely teased some heat between the ladies early on in this match. What do you guys have to say?
Well, there were a lot of really enjoyable moments with this match. For me, Jax doing basically like a deadlift double suplex.
That was amazing.
I was like, what? Girl, stop. But keep doing it, please. I love that. Who was that against? That was against Bliss and who else?
Bliss and Becky. It was Alexa Bliss and Becky Lynch because they were
right.
the two people left, and they were like scoffing at the corner because they're the next pairing for the SmackDown women.
Right.
Yeah.
So they were at each other's throats. That was actually very good.
Glorious, So I very much enjoyed that, and I wasn't so feeling how she ended up getting taken out with the disarmer, but I was like, hey, you don't know the power of submission.
I thought that was a little weird, though. I mean, they've been booking Nia Jax pretty strong, and have her tap out so soon.
No, but she was like a tank for most of the.
Yeah, she was.
I mean, remember at the beginning where she's like, "Send me another one." Boom, here we go
But they're gonna
again.
tap out.
She was taking them out two at a
know.
time.
It's
dude.
one thing to get like pinned or whatever, but like to tap out, that means you openly gave up. You know, as opposed to getting pinned, that you didn't have enough
Well,
strength
when some
to kick
nerves
out.
get, grinded in the same.
She looked
place.
incredibly strong up to that moment, and Becky Lynch is the women's champion, and the disarmor should be considered a powerful move. Nia Jax made it 13 minutes 40 seconds into the match until she was eliminated. I think in the same box score I'm looking at, because wrestling gives me data this time.
Ooh.
I know.
Okay.
She didn't have any eliminations, which would have helped.
Right.
If Nia Jax had had any eliminations, that would have, if she had 2 eliminations and then tapped out to Becky Lynch, it was like, oh, well, she just has to stay away from Becky Lynch, and she's better than everybody else.
Yeah, I did enjoy the fact that as the match went on, all of a sudden Dana Brooke sprouted.
She kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah, next to just in time to push the rope for Charlotte to grab a hold of it. I was like, were you under the ring? I was like, where were you?
I watched you walk out to the ring. You don't need to be this secretive.
Yeah, it was just
you're in the graphic. We know you're here.
There you go. There you are.
You mentioned Nia's big suplex moment. Natty as well, delivering a German suplex and then a power bomb to Charlotte. This actually had the crowd. Well, the crowd was screaming "Suplex City," which does not happen very often during the ladies' match. So they were impressed, and it kind of did seem like a very a suplexy match.
A suplexy affair.
Like how the other one was
Suplexy
TJ Perkinsy. This one was suplexy.
I like that. I like putting E at the end of things.
Yeah, right? I mean, it's just easy. Just easy. Becky makes Nia tap. Nia attacks Becky afterwards. She was not happy. Homegirl had put a lot of work in, and she did not want to go home. And I don't blame her one tiny bit. But let's talk about what happens at the end of this match. So Team Raw are our winners. Charlotte and Bayley were left standing. And Charlotte attacked Bayley after the bell rings. What were you guys thinking when this happened?
Well, I thought that this was a really nice showcase of Bayley's, let's keep on doing that whole Bayley, progression. I enjoy that. I like that. And I particularly liked Charlotte being like, you know what? No, we're good here.
I enjoyed that a lot. It was a matter of Charlotte playing the character that Charlotte's playing, which is, I won. You helped.
Right.
You're on the team, but only because I choose it.
Yeah, you don't get to celebrate this victory, especially if we're gonna fight later.
Yeah, who's genetically inferior? You.
It did make sense.
And then Sasha Banks gets to stand up for Bayley being bullied, and then Bayley gets to prove that we could have a three-way match, right?
Save it for TLC.
Well, we've had it
Kaufman.
already at Night of Champions, or I'm sorry, Clash of Champions.
Yes. We can have it again.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any combination. of these.
Roadblock is coming up, but I mean, I kind of dug it. I mean, the fact that the match is over, there's no reason why we need to be teammates anymore.
Yep.
So kept it simple.
Yeah, it was. It kind of felt like this entire match was a Raw promo. Sorry, I'll just say it. Well, most of the series actually. I mean, it was pretty Raw heavy.
You're right.
Well, yeah. It's
I have no
frustrating.
problem with that. Sorry.
Well,
I don't.
I think on paper,
But I kinda do.
I think on paper, SmackDown's a stronger roster.
Absolutely.
So, but it's frustrating to see this out of the gate.
Right.
Although, SmackDown looked incredibly strong. Your women's champion gets to tap, and I think that's
Great
part of
showing.
why Nia Jax had to tap out to Becky Lynch. If Team SmackDown's going to lose at the start.
Yeah. Well, usually when she loses, when she does, isn't it by tap out? I mean, am I wrong in thinking that? I feel like with NXT and
She
stuff.
tapped out to Asuka.
Yeah.
she was.
I feel like it was
undefeated
tap
on the main
out.
roster, though, right?
Yeah, they basically feed her. They feed her people.
Well, yes. So this makes it Team Raw 1, SmackDown 0. Let's take a look at what the fans, you guys, thought was going to go down in this match. 67.9% of you put your pick behind Team Raw, leaving 32.1% supporting SmackDown. Oh, man, I would have gone SmackDown all the way on this one, but you guys are pretty smart.
They predicted it.
They did.
Yeah, I know. You've got everything that you basically need there with your team. I'm saying with Raw, you've got a Bard. That's Bailey.
I don't know.
You've got a tank. That's Jax.
The women on SmackDown Live have been killing it though. Like that's one or two, 3 segments that I just look forward to every single week. At least with Raw, and no disrespect to Raw, but it's like the same thing. It's going to be Bailey, Charlotte, and Sasha like every week. It's like at least now you're mixing up Alexa, Carmella, and Nikki are having their own thing. It's like I look forward to SmackDown women's segment a lot.
There's
more.
definitely a lot more depth on
I totally
SmackDown.
understand that. And yes, they should mix it up a bit more at Raw because those 3 in the front are the ones that you see the most. That you see up on the graph.
Well,
So, I would love to see more
coming, so
foxing.
we'll see.
I know, and we've got Emmeline. Emmeline, am I saying that right?
Isn't it Emelina?
Emelina. There we go.
Ugh,
We've seen all the promo pictures.
It's a little cringy. We'll see. We'll see how
it goes. I would have preferred for them to do kind of like a Captain Marvel type of thing with her, especially with, we're in phase 3 now with Marvel, and it's like she would be perfect for that. But I don't know because we haven't seen her yet.
Vince just saw the first Avengers. You gotta give him time.
Yeah.
He's not on the road as much. He'll get to watch more of them.
Yeah.
Well, let's head to backstage at Survivor Series where the club is picking on James Ellsworth. Guys, they're not very nice, and I love me some James Ellsworth. But fear not, Mick Foley comes to save him. They member some stuff. Member. Mick tries to recruit James Ellsworth, actually, and bring him over to Raw. No, you cannot have him. We want to keep him on SmackDown. And then Braun shows up, and Ellsworth remembers what happened there and hides him the heck out of there.
Yeah.
This was great.
Don't I know you? I laughed so hard. I had to pause. Don't I know you?
I do.
Yes, you did. This gave me life.
I did enjoy the club doing puns, and then Mick Foley walking up, and then not doing puns. Like, I thought for sure Mick Foley was like, get out of here.
Right.
This guy's got enough. I didn't have a chin pun planned, but like the chin pun.
You got no puns either, Kaufman.
The chin pun above all chin puns, but Mick Foley's got puns.
Right.
Yeah.
I like those backstage segments at like SummerSlam. We saw the SummerSlam with AJ and the club kind of reuniting and Finn Balor and whatnot. I kind of like that they do that every now and then. I remember 12 years ago at the last Survivor Series 04, they kind of had that weird segment for all you fans out there. Heidenreich and Gene Snitsky.
Yes.
One of them was on Raw, one of them was on Raw, the one was on SmackDown. The creepiest backstage segment you'll ever see in your entire life. I kind of like that kind of bringing it back now today with Ellsworth and Braun with that kind of brief history that they had.
I heard you like feet.
No. It's I like your poetry. I like what you do with babies. It was so creepy, but so brilliant.
Is anyone still listening? Did that make you guys turn off the show? Please tune back in. Well, you know what? Let's check in with our chat roll and see what they have to say. Oh, they said, "Member the Bullet Club." Member. Thanks, Zeno Hour, for that one.
Oh,
Remember
and also Zeno Hour. That wasn't a Marvel movie news plug, but this is now. Watch Marvel movie news.
Do as the lady says, everybody. Do as the lady says. And now let's chat about the Intercontinental title match. This one is The Miz versus Sami Zayn to keep the title on SmackDown Live, where that Intercontinental title belongs. So, but these guys do have some history, though. And actually, Sami Zayn is 3-0 up against The Miz. So I gotta be honest, I was a little concerned for my SmackDown show and keeping that Intercontinental title. What was your guys' prediction rolling into this one?
My prediction was definitely for Sami Zayn to take the Intercontinental title
Yeah.
Raw, and then for Raw to lose the Cruiserweight
Yes.
division.
Oh, I think I would have liked that.
I would have liked that too, that Raw
That
would
would have
have
been very interesting.
Raw would have been able to literally say we're where the big boys play. Which is something WCW said. Like, I didn't just make that up. Like,
I
that's
know.
already been focus grouped.
Man, can I say with this match though? I'm gonna say her name wrong. Is it Maurice?
Yeah.
Maurice.
Okay, because I say now I'm worried about how I say things. Thanks, George. Yeah, Maurice. Oh my God, she gave me life. Everything gave me life. She gave me life during this match. When she did the bell with the timekeeper, be like, no, it's time. He did it. He did it. I was like, you know what? This is why we watch. Thank you, Maurice. I don't watch SmackDown as much as I do Raw, obviously.
What?
I don't catch it every week. I catch it the majority of the weeks, and she just constantly delivers, and I just very much enjoy that. And I love villains. I love heels. So I really liked how this ended.
She's taken on the villain role on Total Divas too, and it is so good.
I was not surprised at the
So
result of this
good.
match. I mean, considering The Miz just won on SmackDown, I really find it hard to believe that he was going to lose so soon. I mean, and you would know, Miz is like, I don't want to say MVP, but like definitely like him and AJ are like the top two guys, and Miz has like stepped it up in a way that I've never even thought he can do. Both mic skills, and he was already great on the mic. Talking smack, it's like, and wherever you see The Miz come in on talking smack, it's like, here we go again, you know. And it's been even in the ring, like, especially incorporating a lot of those Daniel Bryan moves. It's like, and he does it well. You know, he does it really, really crisp. And I mean, Miz is like the guy right now. I really don't want him to lose any kind of momentum right now.
No, absolutely not. He worked quite a bit on Sami Zayn's leg during this match and ended up being victorious thanks to Maurice. But all that mocking Daniel Bryan stuff that they were doing had me thinking, like, is it going to turn into The Miz saying, forget this, I'm going to Raw, like, I don't care what happens with the title, or something that, like, he's like, I'm not working for Daniel Bryan anymore, I'm going to Raw. It just seemed like it was really overkill, like they were trying to tell us something.
I think that's a seed they're laying.
Right. I mean, I know it's been there,
like
but...
not necessarily planting as much as it's on the surface of we're probably not going to get a Daniel Bryan match at all.
Right.
Like a match with Daniel Bryan. Like I don't think that's going to happen. We're going to get something Miz. We're going to get something Miz Daniel Bryan. If Miz were to go to Raw, this would have been the time.
Yeah.
That he beats Sami Zayn and then grabs a microphone and just, like he beats Sami Zayn clean. Just like, is this all they got? I'm going.
I think, I mean, I don't know if they, I mean, I do think that might happen soon, but it's like, I think, storyline-wise, like, I think he would if he could.
Yeah.
You know, I think maybe storyline-wise, maybe if everybody's under contract. I mean, with The Miz, he's just so great right now. He's just so
He'd be
amazing.
great. He'd be great anywhere, and I think a lot of people in the chat are saying he's best served on SmackDown.
Especially with that chemistry with him and Daniel Bryan. It's just like, I don't want to see that end.
The chat roll thinks that Jonathan says they're going to trade Corbin for Sami. That could happen.
Well, I mean, Daniel Bryan keeps saying all the time how he wants Sami Zayn and Cesaro, how he gets like, oh, well, backstage at Raw, they told me they want to be on SmackDown. I don't know if that's just foreshadowing or just
that would be kind of interesting.
Talking because Daniel Bryan don't care anymore.
That would be kind of interesting if he trades Corbin for Sami Zayn, Cesaro, and the entire cruiserweight division.
You just want it so bad.
No, but but I would love.
And we'll take this too.
I would love nothing more than for Raw to say, we want Baron Corbin, and guys like Baron Corbin so bad, you can have all these vanilla midgets.
You know, oh wow, okay.
I'd like to apologize for Steve's use of offensive language.
Yeah, vanilla. No, I'm not against like Sami Zayn going to SmackDown for the simple reason that I think he's so excellent, and I don't feel like he's being utilized on Raw the way that he could be. You know, so it's like I wouldn't mind that just for him to shine, be able to shine more. But I honestly don't know what Raw would do with Baron Corbin right now.
Me either.
I mean, we're barely fitting in Strowman with things right now. So I don't think having another monosyllabic mountain would be beneficial for Raw. So that's just my opinion.
I agree, but he fits the brand.
What I would love to see, howdy, Mark in the booth here.
Hey, Mark. Hey, Donica.
I would love to see if Sami Zayn just begs and pleads to get traded to SmackDown, just so that he can get some sort of retribution on The Miz. First night he shows up, Miz announces he's moving to Raw.
Ooh.
With the belt. And we're like,
Exactly,
yeah.
with the belt.
And we'll be like, Mark predicted it.
Be like, we got the belt.
He was right about the Sheamus Cesaro thing. How they were going to go for the tag team championships after that best of
The whole
seven.
best of seven.
Everyone on my Twitter feed says that's me, though.
Everybody says that I'm Jesse Klein.
Yeah.
Everybody says that we're Zach Wilson.
Yeah, my mom says I'm great too. So as we're, throwing stuff out there.
Well, if you want to watch Mark's tweets to know what's going to happen next, you can follow him at Mark B. Donica.
Thanks, Christy.
You're welcome. So The Miz retained on this one after pinning Sami, kind of. The title stays on SmackDown Live, and let's see what our fans predicted. 64.3% of you had Sami Zayn on this one versus 35.7% for The Miz with Maurice. So you guys were surprised.
Yeah,
Yep.
I was part of the 64.3.
Yeah?
Not gonna lie. Yeah.
it felt right that Raw would just take 2 heavyweight titles. Or we'll have 3 heavyweight titles, including the U.S.
We'd give it back the following week. You know,
She's like, we're not stingy.
The Intercontinental title would hotshot brands.
You know, pay-per-views are like a different land from normal, you know, every week. So, yeah, we would have given it back to you. You would have gotten it.
Well, the fans online were calling this one another Canada screw job. And I was thinking maybe that was like a kind of a running theme for the evening.
Yeah.
Like,
Interesting. Okay.
yeah, I mean, because if Natty did truly attack Nikki Bella, you could call that kind of a screw job. I mean, let's just say it's a theme if you want to see it that way for the evening. But one that was definitely cut and dried. Our next matchup, the Raw versus SmackDown Tag Team Elimination Match. This one saw Enzo and Cass, The New Day, The Club, Sheamus and Cesaro, and the Shining Stars versus the Hype Bros, Rhino and Slater, American Alpha, the Usos, and Breezango. This one's for bragging rights, y'all. Breezango were immediately eliminated by the New Day after handing out some fashion violations, and then the New Day were immediately eliminated. Yes, the Raw champions eliminated right at the beginning of this match by the Usos. That was truly shocking. And does that bury the New Day?
No.
No, not at all.
doesn't?
But it revitalizes Xavier Wood for me. His face when Kofi got pinned, he's like, why? why did this happen? But it was fantastic.
But we've been saying, or at least I've been saying for a while, that it's like, wow, New Day seems to not lose at all. And that's because they defend their championships a lot. So it's very important that when the lights are on bright, you get to let them lose in a way where they don't look weak.
They lose all the time, actually. The only time they win is like for the tag team championships. I don't know, I just thought it was an observation that I noticed, but I mean, I don't think they buried. I mean, it's just more shocking. I mean, obviously there was a lot of unpredictable things about Survivor Series tonight, but I dug it. You know, nobody expected it. You know, certainly the Usos. I mean, now we wish we can see like a New Day Usos. That's not going to happen, but who knows? Maybe it gives Sheamus Cesaro a lot more momentum coming into their match tomorrow.
Yeah, and I love the energy of the Usos now, especially with counter against the New Day. I was just like, whoa, I like this. This vibes. It's like, can we have more brand matches like this? I mean, I would be all for it. And I like that they took the New Day out at the beginning, because then it's like, oh, anything can happen. It's like this is anyone's. And I like how it showcased American Alpha awesomely.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, Gable, dear Lord. Yeah, you go, boy.
Yeah, they eliminated the Shining Stars right after the whole thing we just talked about. And then a brawl breaks out. Hello, because of course a brawl is going to break out. I do love me a brawl. American Alpha, however, fell victim to the Club, who eliminated them.
I do like that it was Gallows and Jason Jordan in the ring as the legal men right before the brawl. Then they have the giant brawl where everyone's out of the pool, here, there, and usually, like, there's about a coin flip chance 2 different guys wind up hitting each other immediately after that, and you just have to deal with it. Same 2 guys. Same 2 guys face to face. It's like continuity. I love it.
You appreciate the continuity.
Legal men come back.
Oh, I love it. Well, Sheamus finally gets in on this match after... oh, no, I'm sorry. Cesaro finally gets in after Sheamus was kind of dodging him a couple times, and Cesaro eliminates
like,
the
psych.
Usos, right?
Yeah.
The Usos, who were looking so strong. He swings Jay, puts him in a sharpshooter, which reminds us about DJ and the whole tag team and the whole thing, and it's like, oh.
Remember Bret Hart? Remember?
Yeah.
Remember Shawn Michaels?
There was a lot of fun stuff that happened with this match. I mean, who would ever think that Enzo would take out Rhino? I mean, who would? I mean, that was like, it was the launcher on top of Rhino, and that happened. He took him out. I was like, okay, this entire night was just like me playing video games, like the entire night with my friends. Be like, anything goes. I enjoyed it. I mean, what was? Did anybody not? I mean,
I don't know.
Well, this was great, and I also
what you wouldn't like about it.
and they gave them enough time that Raw was 2-0 heading into this match. So on paper, you're like, on paper, a Raw win, you're like, oh well, whatever. But they spaced it out in such a way that you suspended your disbelief multiple times. Like, well, SmackDown could win.
Right.
It's the tag thing, and then they can move. You know, they can. SmackDown might win the cruiserweight and then not win the whole thing, or like. I don't know. Some of us were keeping score.
Well, Jey Uso taps to Cesaro, and Team Raw are victorious. Let's take a look at what the fans thought was going to happen. What's this little middle 3.6% there?
3.6% was no contest and/or other.
Okay, gotcha.
So that could be anything from the ring breaking to just that kerfuffle we saw getting so out of hand that the referee throws the whole match out. That typically doesn't happen at Survivor Series, but it's an option.
3.6% of people thought that it might. 39.3% of you were behind Team Raw on this one, and 57.1% of our fans thought that SmackDown was going to take the tag team match. Wow, I did too. I can't lie.
I'm gonna say I felt like Raw was gonna take this. I mean, I'm part of the 39.3% for this particular one. No, I enjoyed the Cesaro Sheamus action big time. Who doesn't? It's hilarious on Raw when they do their little fisticuffs with each other. And I thought Cesaro was so strong. He's just so strong in every sense of the word. You know, strong in the mic, strong in the ring. Totally enjoy it.
You think Cesaro's strong on the mic?
I interviewed him before.
Let's not say that, girl.
Well, I enjoy him. He hasn't gotten on the mic a lot, but when he does, he's got like his little zingers, and I enjoy it. I mean, I enjoy him on the mic more than I do some of the other people that are currently on Raw.
Like who?
Oh, like who? Like Reigns, for instance. I enjoy Cesaro on the mic more than Reigns. And then there's other people that don't really get a chance on the mic. I enjoy Cesaro on the mic more than
Rusev. Rusev's awesome.
Oh, well, Rusev's amazing. But I wish that they would put Lana on the mic a little bit more because she's a great mouthpiece for the two of them. But yeah, we're straying from the.
So you're saying you don't like Enzo talking at all?
No, I was saying people. But
I'm kidding.
I didn't appreciate the fact that he was bringing up both Drake and Starboy, which Drake's not on that song. So like it just didn't make sense to me, and it was so.
You don't always have to check his work. You don't always.
It was too. I was like, I can't even concentrate now because that's distracting me.
Enzo says what he wants, and we all laugh.
Well, he's cute. He can get away with it. Let's talk about the Cruiserweight title match. The Brian Kendrick versus Kalisto. And I think a lot of us thought that this was going to see the Cruiserweight title going to SmackDown because of 205 Live. Kalisto looked very strong to start this one with a springboard tornado, and it really ended up being a great action-packed match. What was your guys' reaction to this one?
I love this one.
Oh my God, that Spanish flag, like off the apron onto the floor. Onto the floor. People walk on that, Kalisto. I was like, I loved it.
I was afraid that he had hurt himself.
Yeah,
when he did that.
That's a dangerous
floor.
Yeah.
That's a dangerous move.
Oh,
But
it was beautiful. It was
flip
beautiful,
bottom,
man.
I think I used to call that a flip bottom. It's a flipping rock bottom.
Okay.
Way to take the room out. Way to take the air out of the room, Steve Kaufmann.
Okay. Tell us more things that you call other stuff. No, don't.
Remember when you call things other things?
Baron Corbin shows up, causing a disqualification in this match. Mauro Ranallo says he's not a cruiserweight. Thought that was funny. Were you guys surprised to see Baron Corbin?
Well, I was surprised considering the fact that I thought Kalisto was going to win and take the whole division over to SmackDown. So I was kind of like, oh, who's this guy? Oh, it's not going to have a finish, is it?
Yeah.
Nothing changes.
I enjoyed how his the Brian Kendrick's geared like matched his belt. He was all lavender, all purple and lavender. I was like, I like that jacket. Prince would have liked that jacket. I like that jacket too. But yeah, I mean, there's bad blood with Corbin and Kalisto anyway. I mean, weren't they supposed to have a match at SummerSlam, and then that ended up getting pulled?
Yeah,
like,
Kalisto hurt his back.
Injury. Yeah. So yeah, I was surprised that he popped out of like nowhere, like he sprouted from the crowd. But also I was like, okay, yeah, I get it, dude. And you take your hits where you can get them, and he was not expecting you.
Yeah, we can appreciate that they didn't just drop that storyline.
Yeah, I mean, there's that, and waste nothing.
But I also like the idea that it fits his character of like, I don't care, I'm in it for me. I'm not on the card, and I want to be on the card. Now I'm on the card.
Yeah.
Well, let me
Came out and beat the dude up.
Let me ask you guys about this finish. So Kalisto is announced the winner, which means Kendrick retains the title, even though Baron Corbin hit Brian Kendrick first.
Kendrick was announced the winner.
Before he hit Kalisto.
Kendrick was announced the winner.
Okay, maybe this is when I was glitching out. That's why it didn't
Yeah.
make sense to me. Okay, thank you.
Not that it would have mattered for the stipulation, but Kendrick was announced the winner.
Okay, good. And only 25% of our fans thought that that was going to be the outcome. 75% of you had Kalisto going all the way on this one. Yeah. I think a lot of us did.
Honestly, I thought Kalisto was going to win just for the sake of at some point when the whole Ambrose and Ellsworth thing was going to finish. I thought Ellsworth is going to be like a cruiserweight champion sometime in the future. Now that he's announced that he's officially a contracted WWE superstar. I thought at some point he was maybe going to get the Cruiserweight Championship, but not yet because it's on Raw.
Yeah, I think Kalisto would have made a great Cruiserweight champ. I mean, he was a great USA champ, you know, when he held it. So, yeah, I would have liked for this to happen, but I'm also... there's more Kendrick to be shared with the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's more Kendrick champion to
Kind of like
shared.
Miz, feel like Kendrick just won it 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, I want some more of that sleazy, oozy, I deserve this kind
Especially,
of a thing.
there's like Rich Swann on Noam Dar kind of.
Yes, exactly. So I wanna see that play out.
Well, one guy who is not too happy about all this going down, Daniel Bryan, is angry with Baron Corbin for costing SmackDown Live the Cruiserweight division, and I don't blame him. You think he's going to be punished? What's going to happen here? Maybe Baron will get sent to Raw.
Just sent to Raw.
Punishment? Is that a punishment to go to Raw?
You get to work Mondays now.
I mean, it wants to work on Mondays.
What would a punishment be? Like, would you feed him to... Like, what a Daniel Bryan style punishment? The character of Daniel Bryan on
Not being able to wrestle.
Ooh.
Suspended for
That would actually
6
be,
weeks.
Actually, that or a referee for 6 weeks.
Oh,
If you made Baron
that's
Corbin,
interesting.
if you made Baron Corbin like
have to walk around in
like
a rough outfit.
like a mid-level official, he has to work 3 matches every night.
I like that.
I would like that a lot, where he has to blend into the background and like act like, and if you screw this up, you're fired.
Right.
But I guess what, you're timekeeper. Keep the time.
Well, he would have to screw up being a ref.
Yeah.
Like he would like someone would eventually get in his face and he would just punch him, and they'd be like, "Well, you're timekeeper now," and then ring announcer. Where would you security? It'd be security.
That would be funny.
Yeah, security would be funny. I don't see him as a ring announcer.
Although I'm sure he could rock a cocktail dress and some heels.
Or a suit.
Or, I mean, whatever he chooses. We don't begrudge you anything. We're not going to hand out any fashion violations. We're not Breezango up in here.
Or they were making it rain as the fashion police. I was like, okay, dudes, I love you.
They are fantastic, as was this 5-on-5 Raw versus SmackDown elimination match for the men. Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, and Chris Jericho, Braun Strowman, and Roman Reigns versus Dean Ambrose, AJ Styles, Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt, and Shane McMahon, who was kind of a late addition to this team. Were you guys excited to see Shane get back in action?
Yes, it's so twice a year we get Shane.
I guess.
I think that's about the punch card on Shane. Or it's just like
He needs a 6-month recovery from everything he does.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. I mean, you saw it. Everyone saw it. I was like, did something snap after the spear happened? I was just like, is he okay? Like, really, is he okay?
I don't think he's okay.
No, I don't think he's okay at all. And it was just like, they kind of just covered over it.
I think he's like Shane McMahon, okay? Like I think he's in that sense that he's
He's not any more beat up than he has been at the end of any other match that
He's-
crazy match. that
Whenever
he's
he
done.
jumps off of a cage
Right.
with a match versus the Undertaker, that kind of Shane McMahon. Okay.
like that he's okay in the sense that he doesn't have to leave Toronto tonight.
Oh gosh.
And that he doesn't have to wrestle till like Mania or further.
Right.
And I do like the character of Shane McMahon is an Elon Musk type CEO of like, I'll get my hands dirty, I'll do really unorthodox things.
Right.
I'll also wear sneakers with a suit.
Sexy.
All of it's there.
Yes.
And including
he
like,
gets it from the Tom Hanks Unorthodox book. Sneakers and Suits.
Yes.
No one. Big.
No,
Okay, never mind.
Oh, well, I forgot
Remember big.
I forgot to mention our mascot for this matchup was, of course, James Ellsworth, who did announce at an indie show last weekend that he has been offered, he has been offered and has signed a WWE contract. So expect to continue to see much James Ellsworth. But let's talk about the other angle that was working here. AJ and Dean get into a little bit of a scuffle. Shane McMahon tries to break it up, but these two definitely have a bone to pick with each other. Dean Ambrose was eliminated from this one very quickly, much sooner than I would have thought, right?
But he came back, which I did expect. You don't keep Ambrose down. Moxley. You don't keep Ambrose down.
He's got moxie, if anything.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt are still working together as well. They held Strowman on the announce table. There was a whole big moment there. They're kind of a scary couple, those two.
Yeah. Who else was
doing some damage?
Had life breathed into them when the Shield got together at the end.
That was exciting. Also, Seth Rollins' shirt by itself. I was like, that's awesome.
It was.
Because then we see Seth Rollins' shirt, and then we see Roman Reigns come out with just a Raw towel. And I just like the continuity.
So lazy.
Like, up until that point, everyone was wearing the Raw or the SmackDown shirt.
Right.
Including Nia Jax. But, everyone was wearing the shirt. Until you get to Roman Reigns, and until you get to Seth Rollins, who's like, I'll have a custom one, and then Roman Reigns is like, I'll have a towel.
Yeah, I'll just have it right here.
Then it all just falls apart. Because then you get Bray Wyatt, and then...
Let's talk about what happened with Strowman before we jump into the Shield reunion that went down.
Sorry, I skipped ahead. I loved it so much.
It was all good. This one was so action-packed. At one point, Shane jumps from the top rope onto Braun Strowman that the guys had set up, breaking the table. The first of two major Shane McMahon spots. Ellsworth prevents Braun Strowman from getting back in the ring after this. Our mascot pops out from beneath the ring and grabs him by the foot. This was genius. I don't know if James Ellsworth himself is coming up with any of this or not, but I love him, and I think he's a genius, and I'm so glad that he's there. He makes me happy.
It was
do you have a t-shirt?
I don't have a t-shirt.
Waiting for it to go on clearance, huh?
Anyone can get me one. I mean, I figure there's going to be Black Friday sales. Jericho's nose got destroyed at some point during this match, right? Wasn't it bleeding? I was unclear as to what actually happened. But he had bigger things to worry about because Kevin Owens has his list. And he hit AJ Styles with it, causing Kevin Owens to be disqualified and eliminated. And also, I think, probably losing his BFF status with Chris Jericho.
Man,
right?
Jericho was stricken. He was. There was a lot of strife going on.
I mean, let's be clear. That list is the top 5 things most over on Raw.
Right.
Yeah, the list of Jericho. I mean, when he started gathering the pages, and it was just like, oh, his face with those pages.
My moves.
It's like, how will I remember all the people that have wronged me? Man, but that list was their downfall, both of their downfalls. So.
Ooh, that's true.
Yeah.
Ooh. Well, I can't wait to see what goes down between the two of them after this. At one point, this match becomes a 2-on-4. Definitely, SmackDown was outnumbered. This is when Shane makes Seth hit himself with his own knee. The whole, you can't knee me, the whole thing. I mean, that was just genius. And then we get Shane.
I've never seen that before, ever.
No,
never in life until tonight.
Somehow I'm going to try.
I know, right? I'm going to make you hit your own knee with your face.
Take that. That one was for Cena. So now we get to the big spot where Shane jumps across the ring from the top rope right into a spear from Roman Reigns, and I agree with you, Markeia. He did not look okay.
No, that did not look like a good land.
Do we think the plan was for this to always be a knockout?
No. I thought he was supposed to get pinned. But he was just so legitimately concussed that I think he just didn't know where he was.
Yeah. He was so concussed that he couldn't keep his shoulders on the mat.
And we always hear about the ref, them telling the ref to just, call it in the ring. Mm-hmm. So, he didn't see his shoulder up, so hey, let's... I mean, they did the smart move as far as we've seen it before where matches or people get eliminated because they've been knocked out, and obviously they went with the safe bet.
I always think about how much stress there must be on the other performers having your boss, basically working with your boss, and seeing like, you know, so the ref making those calls, what if Shane didn't want to be carried off by medical staff? Or what if he didn't like that call? I mean, I just always think there must just be, and when him and Braun had their little moment too, I thought, oh my God, how stressful to have to like work with your boss like that, right?
To be fair, the refs are, as George said, fairly deputized to do that. And I think breaking that spot down in my head again, I think what happens is he made it completely to his feet and then got speared. Mainly face and head of Roman Reigns, which we know Samoan people's faces and heads. It's like a 4-time multiplier from normal heads.
Okay.
Samoan skulls. It's a thing. They're
stronger?
Okay.
There are college level papers about Samoan skulls. Don't look them up. They're not. But I think that's part of it. I think because he made it to his feet and then got speared, probably at full force.
Yeah.
That's what literally knocked the wind out of him.
I think his head snapped back too hard.
Yeah, I think it was a head thing.
Let's hope that didn't.
And obviously, the refs.
I mean, I'm not going to rewatch it because I'm sure they will show us it, you know, over and over again.
Over and over
like,
again.
like, when Enzo got knocked out, it's like, dude, you have to keep showing it over and over again.
Yeah.
But they all, again, the refs all have earpieces. I'm sure either he made the right call or Vince in the back said, hey, just call the match.
Yeah.
Yeah, and how terrifying must that be for Reigns, where it's like, oh God, did I kill my boss?
Yeah. For real. Well, this is the point at which we get what everyone has been waiting for. Finally, the Shield reunites. Dean Ambrose comes back out from the back.
Of course he did.
And attacks AJ. Security tries to carry him off. And who attacks security on his behalf? Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. They get together to do something we haven't seen in a while. Powerbomb AJ Styles through a table, and it was beautiful.
Yes.
The thing happened.
Oh, the thing that we all wanted to do. You remember the Shield?
Remember 4 years ago, the Shield.
We had it. We had it for the amount of a power bomb. It was glorious. I love Ambrose coming back. You know, he's the Joker. He's always going to come back. He always has a grudge against someone, and that person better watch out. Watch out, because maybe it's a present. Maybe it's he just finds you in the parking lot, or maybe it's he's already out of the match, but he's coming back anyway. And I love this so much. I'm just loving everything.
I'm kind of curious what role the Undertaker's going to play in all this, because here's a guy who was on SmackDown and said, you know, don't mess this up, and here you have Ambrose legitimately costing AJ Styles, you know, or maybe even SmackDown the match. So it's kind of like, if I was Undertaker, I'd be pissed at Dean Ambrose.
I mean, and you rightly so, you would be.
But I do think it's going to be Taker and AJ.
Ambrose don't care. Ambrose is a honey badger. Ambrose don't care.
Well, everyone was
awesome.
wondering if this was going to somehow.
You know what? I would trade for Ambrose if y'all wanted to do that. Sami Zayn for Ambrose.
We have the option.
We don't need.
Sami Zayn for Ambrose, just because I want Ambrose back.
But was it me, or were they booing Ambrose?
Were they? I didn't.
I feel like they were booing Ambrose a little bit.
I guess I was too engrossed in it.
I didn't really catch
I thought
it
there was a
either way.
huge reaction, like, yeah, but
think
I don't know.
I feel like
Does chat roll now?
I feel like
Y'all
people starting to
let
get
us know.
tired of his shtick.
Well, but I think
There have been some people saying that recently. Yes.
Okay.
It kind of started when he was on the Steve Austin
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah, when he was champion too, it's like he didn't really do much as champion.
well, they didn't give him much to do.
Like what? I mean, he had a good program with Rollins, but I mean, I don't know. I just feel like that, like the Ambrose, like he needs a little bit tweaking of his character.
Oh.
I think that happened since Austin, and we just didn't notice because the Austin thing was enough to get the title off of him.
Well,
So-
I think he makes
I think we're looking too much into that. I mean, you're right. I mean, I think the Austin thing made him look really bad. But I feel think he may be like a heel turn or something.
well, he's a good pursuer of titles, definitely.
Our chat roll is reminding me that the Shield was born at Survivor Series.
2002?
It was their
2012. I'm sorry,
birthday.
2012.
2002.
Their 4-year birthday today. My, how far they've all come. I want to take this second to wish a very happy birthday to our AfterBuzz TV fan, Jacob, who is 5 today. He was yes, I know, right? Happy birthday, Jacob. He was born,
Rocket Man.
born after Survivor Series in 2011. Mom Angie said she blames Rock and Cena. So thank you, Angie, and happy birthday to Jacob. And now I'm going to jump right back in here. Let's see what the fans had to say about this match. You guys had Team Raw 46.4% versus SmackDown with 53.6%. Oh, I'm pretty
much,
even.
Yeah, pretty much coin flip.
Yeah.
Coin flip leaning more SmackDown.
Right.
I think it would have leaned heavily SmackDown had they been able to make that choice right before the match.
I'm wondering if people knew that Luke Harper was going to just come out of freaking nowhere, if that would have affected their prediction on this one. What did you guys think of that?
I dug it. I dug that whole last, 2-on-2, kind of 2/3 of the Shield versus 2/3 of the Wyatt family.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot for some reason. I didn't think I was going to like it. I didn't think I was going to like the whole Bray Wyatt, Randy Orton kind of duo. I dig it. I kind of dig it. It's kind of like they're both kind of very sneaky and evilish in their own ways. I dig it. I think they kind of bring out the best of each other.
Yeah, like the Viper belongs in the swamp. It goes well together. I'm all for it, and yeah, I wish that I miss the Wyatts. I miss them a lot, but then I'm so used to them on Raw, kind of a thing. So it was really nice just having the Survivor Series to be like, oh, remember Bray? Be like, I remember. Oh, I made myself sad.
Well, I really thought that the whole him and Randy teaming up thing was just going to be a flash in the pan. They would turn on each other immediately, but they're really riding that out. I don't see where it's going.
Especially now where Randy Orton, I guess, saved Bray Wyatt from the spear and took it as on his own. I thought that was kind of an interesting little loophole in the whole storyline.
But do we think it's Randy Orton will continue to sacrifice himself for Bray Wyatt, or Bray Wyatt's kind of a
Tune in and find out.
But it could be just as easily that Bray Wyatt is more of a career whisperer, or like a wrestling whisperer. That it's like, I've found a flame inside of you that's never been there, and you're gonna be the greatest thing ever as long as you do exactly as I say.
Yeah, that's way more Bray Wyatt-y.
Exactly. Yeah. So we'll see success from Randy Orton based on the tutelage of Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, and then all the RKOs, because that was beautiful.
Yes.
Yes.
So many
yes.
RKOs.
Oh.
It worked out well for him. Team SmackDown Live took this one. And then we get to our main event for the evening, Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar. In a rematch from WrestleMania 20. Goldberg hasn't been in the ring in 12 years. However, he was victorious in that WrestleMania 20 matchup. So major history between these guys. And this all kicked off with a very grand entrance for Goldberg. It was pretty cool, right?
Yeah. I was happy they did pretty much the exact entrance they've been advertising.
Yeah.
He's going to sit in the back until someone tells him it's time. He's not going to watch the screen, apparently, and then he's going to walk all the way out, and he's just going to be the big hero that Raw needed because Lesnar was out of control. I feel that story got muddled. But that's the story I thought they were trying to tell.
Oh, that they needed Goldberg to take Lesnar down a couple of notches?
Or, to take him out or take him down because he was...
He was getting in people's faces and Brock.
Pretty much, well, because for the past 3 years, he's been just this unchained animal that Taker would placate, but then when the Taker stuff was kind of done, that he would just go in and do whatever he wants. He would flip a table on Booker T. He would F5 cameramen. He would he would just do whatever he wanted, and then he would just have to face off with the authority. Where it's the story should have been that we need Goldberg to take you out. That's the only, there's no one here that can do it. We need an outsider. The story became Goldberg said something on ESPN, and then we went back and forth on every other Raw to get them in the ring together.
Yeah.
And and then this match happened.
Yeah. Well, so were your hopes high going into it? Did you guys think this would be over quickly? I mean, this was shocking, right?
Well, the match before it was close to an hour.
Yeah,
it was
the match
a 52-minute match.
So long. At that point, you kind of knew. You didn't know.
Because it was only still quarter after 7. They still had a lot of time.
Not to mention, two heavyweights like that could do a 7-minute match, and it would feel like 16, 20 minutes.
No.
Yeah.
It was so quick. I legitimately, like, I got up to get a drink, you know, did the ice machine, came back, and it was over. I'm like, oh wait, did my controllers like skip forward? And no, it was 2 spears and
2 spears, jackhammer.
yeah.
He kept him up on that jackhammer for at least like 8 seconds. Don't check my math, but a long period of time for a gentleman his age, and for someone Brock Lesnar's size.
Yeah, it was just enough time for Heyman to be praying to his gods.
Whoever
Praying near the
Heyman
apron.
believes in.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. Where he's like, please let him bounce back, please.
Going back to what I said earlier, to say that this was predictable, I think it's like, oh my god, like nobody can say WWE's predictable, because everybody's gonna say like, oh, they're always so predictable. Oh my god, you know, their WrestleMania 20 match was so horrible. Well, guess what? They gave you the complete opposite. Okay, that everybody crapped on that match. I think it was more so. That wasn't even a bad match to say, though. Just more so like they're both leaving. Why were you going to be emotionally invested in this match? You know. Now, obviously, nobody's really leaving. I think everybody knew that Goldberg would maybe come back for another match, but still, I didn't think it was going to be that quick.
Manuel Dominguez in the chat says, it was not shocking. It was really idiotic. All that push and hype for a 90-second match. If you paid $39 for this, you would be PISS.
Why would you pay $39?
$9.99.
Isn't it like $10.49 now? No,
it's
$9.99.
They're talking about doing different tiers of membership now. Yeah, and then the highest being $20 a month.
First off, last night's NXT is probably worth the price of $9.99 alone.
Yeah,
so
there you
I
go.
look at Survivor Series as a bonus. So I can't complain about a bonus.
Yeah. You know, for me, it was like this was like a video game package kind of a thing.
It's sponsored by 2K17. Like
yeah,
this
there
was
you
all
go.
kind of a video game in that regard.
Yeah, and we got that match. Loosely saying match. We got this meetup. It was a meetup. We got this meetup, and Brock got decimated. So I did not expect that at all. I expected the exact opposite of this, and it kind of made me sad inside because I knew that Goldberg's family would be. But you know, WWE is great with having people's family there, like Titus O'Neil with his kids there for Father's Day, or like Sasha and her family in the Escalade. It's like, yeah, they love seeing people fall down in front of their kin. So this was surprising for me.
Also, they love making outsiders lose their first time back. Like, including...
Yeah, I feel like that's a thing.
Including Lesnar, if we don't forget that when Lesnar came back from the UFC, he fought Cena in Extreme Rules and lost. And then he didn't lose again till, like... I think he lost one other time to Seth Rollins, and then
Triple
he lost.
H.
Yes, Triple H, Seth Rollins, and then now. Everything else was a win.
Andrea Beeler in the chat says, I loved this. She loved it. Well, Andrea's a happy girl. I like to hear that. What else can we say about this? Goldberg had a big... Oh, well, let's see what our fans had to say. So we got that 3.6% again for the no contest, etc. Man, 3.6 of you just really wanted to see a no contest tonight, I think. And 82.1% were behind Brock Lesnar in this one, with 14.3% of you thinking that Goldberg would take it. Man, that is by far our biggest ratio of the night, our biggest difference.
Yeah. Big
He was
time.
absolutely the biggest favorite heading into this match based on this data, and he did not win.
Steve loves the data.
I love me some data. So much data.
Yeah, go you 14.3%. I would not have guessed it. Yeah.
Me either.
I'm kind of curious if there's like again, I know everybody's into like the backstage politics and whatnot. I'm kind of curious if there was any coming into this match. Was this like a punishment for kind of them Brock making the WWE look bad as far as, you know, the steroid violation from earlier this year?
Well, there
Them
was the rumor that Goldberg did get legitimately hurt after the
there's
tussle.
there's that
Yeah.
too, you know.
There's that rumor.
But it's just, even so, it's like maybe they could have lasted a little bit longer. Do they want it to be like a minute and a half long? Like, I mean, that was quicker than Goldberg's first match against Hugh Morris.
A Pro Wrestling Sheet, which is, you know, if they say it, then it must be true, says the reason that Goldberg was made to look so dominant tonight during the Survivor Series match is because he has recently agreed to appear in the upcoming Royal Rumble.
Oh, well, okay.
They cite some sources telling them that the 49-year-old made a deal this week to participate in a Rumble match this would make it his second Royal Rumble of his career, and that is going down in January at the Aladome. I wonder if his shirtless son will be there again to help him celebrate. Like, okay.
How times have changed too, because just like 2-3 years ago, Goldberg was saying he's never going to go to WWE back. You know, screw Triple H, screw Vince. Now he's like, he's not kissing their ass, I'm sure, but it's like, do you think that WWE has changed, or like Goldberg has changed, or maybe they realized they both maybe needed to
I think it was just a good mutual relationship. He found the time where he can come in and bring value, and he knew exactly what he wanted, and it's a matter of deals and terms. Whereas I can only assume Sting wanted a WrestleMania match and then a longer run. And whether he won or not wasn't as important, whereas the terms on Goldberg might be, I need to win. I would like to come out and win.
I think regardless, we've been seeing a trend that WWE 2K has been bringing legends back who thought they would never be in the WWE.
Yeah.
So
Right.
a video game has been the catalyst in helping these fan favorites.
The rumor for 2K18 is Kurt Angle.
Oh, I
could see
would
that.
be A-okay with
I
that.
could see that happening
There's
soon.
been so much talk of his return.
And then
So
2K19,
much.
CM Punk.
Stop.
That's one too far.
Yeah,
Although,
time does heal all wounds, but that one needs more time.
2K23?
Maybe.
28.
Okay.
But speaking of CM Punk, I do think there's something to be said about this match being so quick from a guy like Goldberg who has a professional sports background, and from a guy like Lesnar who has an MMA background, that it's interesting to promote this as more of a shoot fight. That sometimes these things, sometimes you just get caught.
That's true. That's actually very, very true.
I saw a couple people on
That's a
Twitter.
good point, Steve. Well, not too often I agree with you.
I make those sometimes.
Okay.
But someone on Twitter actually was like, "Oh, Lesnar got CM Punk'd."
Well, our chat roll is predicting. Emmanuel says that he thinks that Goldberg will win the Rumble.
Ooh.
Thoughts on that?
I think Brock cost Goldberg the Rumble.
Yeah,
maybe
that's what
setting
we
up
were
a
talking
Mania
about.
rematch. Although I do think it's going to be Undertaker AJ at the Royal Rumble.
Why?
Ooh.
I think they got a 70,000 seat stadium to fill out.
And if
Taker in his hometown, or I think lives really close to San Antonio.
he's a Texan.
Yeah.
Andrea Beeler wants to see Taker versus Goldberg, but she really wants to see Taker versus AJ Styles.
That's what I want to see too. I mean, obviously,
Well, who doesn't want to go against
if
Taker?
the
let's be
HBK
honest.
AJ thing doesn't happen,
I think we all-
which that would make most sense. I know he said he's not going to come back, but San Antonio, Texas, in front of the Alamo Dome,
Yeah.
20th anniversary of his victory against Psycho Sid.
Yeah, Shawn Michaels AJ Styles would make the absolute most sense, minus the fact that Shawn Michaels doesn't wrestle. Undertaker still wrestles, and he's the most
And
famous.
he said he's back. I thought he was just making it be like a one-off, but he said he's back. Like, you probably get some more matches.
And that WrestleMania won't define me, were his exact words. So I would very much love for him to go after Dean Ambrose, as you said, on the next one, and then lead up to a Rumble AJ Styles. But that would be convoluted because Dean Ambrose was going after AJ Styles. Let's not think about it.
I don't, maybe it's foreshadowed. I don't know if you guys talked about it on SmackDown. Becky Lynch versus Alexa in a ladder match at TLC? Yes or no?
I say ladder match for anything with females.
Especially with kind of Raw doing the Hell in a Cell. Well, you did the first Hell in a Cell. Let us do the first females ladder match.
Yeah, I think we did predict that.
Especially with kind of that finish with Alexa being kind of being on the ropes.
Yeah.
Kind of like they're setting up for a rematch. Why not TLC in the first ever women's ladder match? Yeah,
I'm down with it.
I'm
I've
down with
wanted
that.
a women's ladder match forever, so I'm good.
I predicted that for Money in the Bank, and everyone.
Like, I'd rather not see the Money in the Bank match be the first women's ladder match. I'd
Yeah.
rather see maybe obviously like Hell in a Cell, like two women that just want to just face for the belt.
I like that, and also Becky Lynch Alexa would be a good pairing for the very first
Alexa's
ladder match.
really good, man. Like I didn't think she was. I knew she was going to be good. I didn't think she was going to be this good. Like she really is. Like on the mic, in the ring, like everything about her look, the way she changes it up every week. It's like I think Regal said it the best. Where like you want to make money, switch up your look because that means they're going to make a new action figure for you. And Alexa's got like 4 looks already in like 4 months.
And seeing her tie up with Sasha Banks makes me want to see Alexa versus Banks at some point in the near future.
Like WrestleMania or SummerSlam.
Something.
I'm good with it. I think it'd be awesome. I think they've got a powerhouse of women for each of the nights, and I want to see more. I've always wanted to see
Eva
more.
Marie's coming back soon. Emma Lee.
Yeah, she
like you
keeps
said.
teasing that. Eva keeps saying that.
She dyed her hair, right? I think
She
I
did
caught that.
she did for a movie role with Nicolas Cage.
Oh, okay, so she's back.
Who knows if maybe they're going to bring Mickey James in?
Would love that.
Absolutely. She had a match at NXT TakeOver for the first time in 6 years, returning to the ring for WWE. I honestly haven't watched it yet, to tell you the truth. Did she win?
No,
Oh, she didn't?
it was Asuka.
Oh, that's too bad.
Asuka's still undefeated.
Oh, right, of course. Of course. Well, guys, is there anything else that you would like to say about the 2016 Survivor Series?
It was pretty solid. I mean, I enjoyed this.
I think nothing blew me away. I mean, it's kind of hard. Like, not too often will one of those Survivor Series elimination matches be like the best match ever. I think their 2014, that one with, the Authority and Ziggler and Cena, that match is amazing. I don't think any of these matches maybe compared to that one, but I mean, it's still good. It was all good. A couple few like missed spots, obviously with the women with that double DDT looked weird. But overall, I mean, I thought it was pretty good. I mean, I thought Wyatt looked strong. Hopefully they do something more with him.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll get inserted into the main event scene finally.
I've almost given up on them doing like Wyatt right.
I know.
It's just they, you know what really did it? Now I'm getting into other things. When Undertaker was defeated and then he went up against Bray, that was the perfect opportunity to put Bray over as this Prince of Darkness. They had all of this build up, and then he lost to Undertaker, and I was like, what are you doing? And I don't want to get worked up right now.
No, but you're right. Bray had so much momentum at first.
It's one of those where it's like, I know Steve says it a lot, where Bray's just kind of like an agent of chaos, and he is presented that way, but I just want to see, like, hey, just give him the belt. Let's see what he does with it. Let's just see what he does. Let's roll the dice. They've done worse. They've done it with like Khali. Let's just see what Bray does with the belt.
It's like on Raw right now. They even have Bo Dallas, and it feels like they don't really know what to do with him. They've made him super aggro, and I'm like, okay, cool. that can work. With the Bo leave and aggro and everything. But you have IRS back, in the back, and he's like road agent, but just put him in the outfit and send him out there as the manager, and you can do like a Ric Flair, Charlotte Flair type of thing with Bo Dallas and IRS, and it would be so cool. Excellent. And I feel like I say this every week, so I need to stop, but I won't
it'd be
stop.
Bo R. Shyster?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Hey, while we're in the rec list,
Please do this just to make Markeia McCarty happy,
Bo
please.
Dallas Shyster,
Can we make this happen?
while we're in the what we want to see portion of the show, I agree with Haywood Wong in the chat, who's like, I want to see Nakamura on the main roster.
Well, everybody does.
Yeah, I was gonna say, who doesn't?
But NXT is a touring brand. They can't give. I mean, they got to build other people. Although I do think especially after tonight at Survivor Series, everybody knows the most over guy in Survivor Series was Ty Dillinger. Obviously, everybody chanting 10, 10, 10.
Yes.
I do think at Royal Rumble he's going to debut as number 10.
He has to.
Obviously.
Ever since WrestleMania, or since the Royal Rumble last year, when 10 came by and lit all of the chants on fire for 10, he's got to come in this year.
But I'm saying he was just so over tonight, and he wasn't even on the show.
Or he can beat up the
and
person.
he lost on NXT.
He can beat up the person who comes out at 10 and take their place.
Maybe. God, I can't wait to.
That doesn't really fit his character, but we're workshopping stuff.
Well, whatever goes down at the Royal Rumble, we will be here breaking it down for you after the show.
We're not taking a trip to San Antonio?
I mean, I'm not.
Guys, Christy, before we wrap up, can I just do a couple of housekeeping things real quick?
Please.
Just wanted to make sure that everybody tunes in tomorrow. We've got 2 huge debuts. We've got a new set of podcasts hosted by Lillian Garcia.
Wow.
Debuting tomorrow, our first episode of our English show, Making the Way to the Ring, with Brie Bella on the celebration of their birthday.
Yes.
Coming out tomorrow at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 6 p.m. Eastern, and Tuesday. I'm sorry that I said both tomorrow. Tuesday, we're debuting our Spanish-speaking program, Luchando con Lillian Garcia, with our very first guest, Rey Mysterio Jr.
Wow.
Super excited about it, and just it's been a great experience working with Lillian, and we're happy that she'll be able to bring a new show to you. Also, if you watch the excuse me, I'm getting ahead of myself. The Takeover Toronto show, we did a Takeover Toronto after show just before Survivor Series, so go back and watch that after this show is done. Thank you for your time. Back to you, Christy.
Absolutely, and you may see some familiar faces from this panel on those Lillian Garcia shows, so you better tune in. And guys, if they want to follow you and keep up with you in the meantime, then we should probably tell them who the Predictions Champion is. Who is it? Who do we got, Steve Kaufmann?
The Predictions Champion is the Mexican Stallion. He got 7 of the 10 questions right.
Oh, congrats.
He now has 2 points to everyone else who's held the championship thus far is 1 point.
Whoa.
The most points after WrestleMania will win a prize pack from us here at AfterBuzz TV.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's awesome.
So it is ABTV PPV chat on Twitter. Get involved. Have some fun.
What's his name?
The Mexican Stallion.
The Mexican Stallion. Congratulations to you, and thank you to everybody who played along. You contributed to our ratio, so let's see. It's everyone's show, people. It's everyone's show. And if you guys want to keep the conversation going, you can talk to any of us on social media. George, where do they do that at?
You can find me on Hermoza, GHERMOZA, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, PSN, whatever, etc., etc. YouTube.
And you guys can find me on Twitter at Steve Kaufmann. That's KAUFMANN.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Markeia McCarty, MARKEIA MCCARTY. Catch me on Raw tomorrow with John Luquasto and Ty Matthews, and we'll be talking about the Raw after Survivor Series.
Absolutely, and make sure you tune in to X-Pac 12360 this week on AfterBuzz TV. That airs Wednesday at 3 p.m. Pacific time. We will have Shane Helms as our guest this week, and you guys can always keep up with me at Christy Reports on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. You know I love those Total Divas, and you better be right here at AfterBuzz TV at 9 o'clock p.m., I want to say, Pacific time, for the Total Divas After Show. We love it. You love it, too. Thank you for hanging out with us. Yeah. We will see you at the Royal Rumble. Take care.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.